Alright, men, it is being reported that domestic violence has gone up by 33%, and as men, we need to rally together to protect our women from violence. So, what can be done? But first, let's check on the causes of this increase in violence. In this report, it is stating that because there's a housing crisis, that it's harder for women to escape abusive relationships, and we have been saying this since COVID. And it's like, whenever working class people come out and say, hey, there's a housing crisis, there's a cost of living crisis, and this, is making our society more violent, and then we're called far-right extremists, and then a few years later they go, oh yeah, the working class were right all along. So what happened in 2020? There was COVID. Unemployment went up to 33% in 2021, and we saw the price of rent go up rapidly. And COVID didn't end because the government thought the economic hardships were bad. It ended because they wanted to bring in Ukrainians and give them free accommodation. All of this together means that there's less accommodation for people to live in, and therefore it is harder for people to escape abusive relationships. And I think everybody my age knows that you start thinking, oh well, that person is a bit abusive, but rent is so high, let's get married and stay together. So there's probably a lot of unhappy marriages that came together just because there's a housing crisis. Because for me, main motivation to get married is the fact that it's easier to survive. Therefore, it's going to be harder for people to leave an abusive relationship. So, in that regard, build more houses. We need more people going to the Garda. We need more resources and a stronger justice system. We need stronger penalties. Then there's two issues. You've got the issue of women's shelters. We need more. The higher the population goes, it means that there's less room at the women's shelters. And an issue that is reported at women's shelters is that because men can identify as women, there are men turning up to these women's shelters, and there's men receiving resources that are supposed to be allocated for women. I saw that a few days ago at a women's event promoting women in science, and lo and behold, they had men in dresses taking up the spaces, which, in theory reduces the chance of women getting careers in science, and therefore less capable of escaping abusive relationships. And then there's the big issue that radical Islam is being promoted everywhere. You're talking about if you're importing people who dress women in bin bags and treat women like trash, of course, domestic violence is going to be increasing, and promoting the likes of Hamas. Hamas are operating in Ireland, they're targeting businesses, even talking about harassing people working at Google. All of this is turning Ireland into a death cult, and talking about our politicians celebrate radical Islamists abducting women and torturing them in tunnels. So that's a lot to take in there. But as Irish men, we should be championing the cause of women, making our country safer, build more houses, have less people, take care of women when they report domestic violence. I have been getting involved with a group of female Christians who are interested in this topic. So when I meet up with them again in September, who knows? Maybe this is an issue that I'll be talking about even more. Aaron Gabral.